All right, welcome to your Magical Mermaid Pick a Card reading. Today we have three really beautiful energies and each one is so uniquely different. We have pile one is the Magical Dimensions Oracle cards with this beautiful like pearly white seashell. Pile two is the Rose Oracle on the top here with this beautiful, I think it's called a nautilus. I'm not sure. It's just another gorgeous white seashell. And then pile three, we have the fairy deck and we have this cute little ceramic heart that has a baby heart with it. So take a moment, look into each deck, feel into your heart. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Take another deep breath in. Exhale it out. And just feel into which pile is calling you. Pile one, pile two, or pile three. And I will see you for your reading. Okay, if you chose pile one with the Magical Dimensions Oracle card deck and this gorgeous white seashell, you have come to the right space. So let's see what we have here. Let's put our little seashell down here. We have solar plexus, being centered, balancing power, manipulation. We have releasing the petals, transformation, death and rebirth, shedding all change. We have Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? From the Burning Heart Love Oracle, we have, I've been watching your socials and admiring your pictures, so maybe you're starting to get some recognition. We have be open to a communication from an unexpected place. And that is the High Priestess from the land of the Ariana. We have the Golden Children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. And we have the Two of Cups. So starting your reading off, it sounds like there's a lot of big changes that are happening for you. You're going through a lot of transformation. You're really coming into your power. Maybe there is this drive in you to kind of put yourself out there. There also might be this need to feel nurtured. Maybe it's you feel this big change is coming, but you're not sure what the first step is or any of that. And you're kind of grieving what's already happened. So this Two of Cups is saying that if romance or partnership has been on your mind, then it's definitely something that is being highlighted. And it sounds like what you're looking for right now is some sort of partnership where, there's admiration, there's encouragement, there's inspiration. And this releasing the petals, interesting that I said breaking the petals. It's almost like you're having a breakthrough. There's a lot of shedding. So you're in this big moment where there's inner child healing. And this is interesting, this card, be open to communication. So what I'm getting from that is it's like you've been waiting for some sort of communication from somebody, or maybe you've been trying not to think about that communication, but it's coming up. And what I'm getting is that you really have to trust that whatever's happening, it's going to happen at the right time. So we also have Milk and Honey. And so this is such a beautiful card. It's saying that wherever you're releasing and letting go, you're stepping into a deeper level of empowerment, a time where life is going to feel really sweet. We have the Reunion. So this says soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, friendship. And we also have you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. So I feel like you've got a lot on your mind, pile one. Partnership is definitely one of those things. Maybe you've been thinking about romance, or maybe you feel like you've given up on romance and all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, why can't I stop thinking about this person? Or, you know what I mean? Like maybe you've been single for a long time and now it's like, oh, maybe I could fit someone into my life. Or maybe if you are in partnership already, then you're trying to figure out how to balance like this desire that you have to step into a deeper level of leadership with your relationship and figure out how to make it work. So we have you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. And I feel like this is really important because this reunion card means that you're connecting with other people, whether that's from a romance lens, whether that's from people that you can co-create with and like work, or even friendships. You're connecting with like-minded people, and maybe you're doing so through social media or some sort of like virtual network. But in order to come into this milk and honey and these like beautiful equal partnerships and heal that inner child, you've got to remember, like, it's not about thinking. You've got to stop overthinking. It's interesting how some of these piles, the cards got like merged. And I think that happened for a reason. Like there's some merging that's happening with you. So we might have some duplicates already. I'm afraid of commitment is coming through. So it feels like maybe there's this fear that you have of stepping deeper into your leadership, into your mission, into your purpose, committing to a job, committing to a relationship. Like there's this feeling of like, oh my God, like what if I am seen more? Like what can happen then? You know, like I don't know if I'm ready. But then we also have illumination. So it feels like the breakthrough of like this fear of committing to this new path is simply about like learning how to mother yourself through the fear, that it's not actually the fear that's scaring you. It's being seen, like with the I'm watching your socials and admiring your pictures. Maybe it's like, wow, if I'm like really out there, I'm gonna have to keep up with social media. I'm gonna have to keep posting, or people could judge me, or they could look at me strangely. And then we have double mission. So this says, Lightworker Starseed, serve the world by being you. So this is always a card of feeling like this urgency, maybe, of like stepping into your path and purpose in some way. And you might feel it too, that like your purpose is connected to other beings, whether that's in a romance sense or friendship or some type of like creative endeavor or project. We have the Empress. So as you're stepping into your leadership and meeting like-minded people, you're gonna start to feel this sense of like abundance, really coming into yourself. We've got manifestation. So prosperity, fortune, pure intention. You've been manifesting something for a while, and maybe you gave up on it, and maybe you're just like, I guess it's just not gonna happen, or it's not gonna happen now, so I'm just gonna let it go. Or maybe there's even this fear that like it's not safe to manifest, that there's like some selfish egoic intent to asking for what you want. But wow, we have communicate coming through again. So maybe there's like some throat chakra healing. Things left unsaid will never reach the shore. So it sounds like there's like going to be this opportunity to communicate. Maybe there's going to be some unexpected communication coming forward for you, pile one. But there's also going to be this expectation that like you've also got to get vulnerable. Whoever you're having this reunion with, it's like got to be equal give and take, you know, because once we start to really check in with ourselves, we start to see how much everybody is battling those unproductive thoughts and those fears and worries. From the Mermaid Empowerment Oracle, we have New Chapter. And the Mermaid Empowerment for New Chapter is every sunset brings a new tomorrow. And so what I'm really feeling with this energy is there's like this beautiful new beginning, but maybe there's also some grief that's coming through about endings, and forgiveness is coming through. So it's like you've got to communicate to yourself as well. Like, where am I still holding on to unforgiveness? This also reminds me of Kuan Yin. So I'm definitely feeling like this energy of compassion, having compassion for yourself, having compassion for other people in the past that maybe couldn't offer you that healthy partnership, or that instead of bringing milk and honey into your life, they brought like flies and chaos. It's like, you've got to recognize that hurt people hurt people. So let's see, I'm going to pull another card from the Wisdom of the Oracle. We have no place like home. So it feels like as you're stepping into your mission, it's like part of you is like trying to bring through that energy of your home planet. Let's pull a starseed card to go with it. We have Whale and Orca Elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. I love that. So it's like maybe you're feeling homesick for like the higher realms, but the way that you can bring that in is through forgiveness, through manifesting, but also it says share your song, diving deep. So there's something about maybe music. Maybe you could be listening to music this week to help you manifest. Maybe it's about, you know, really tuning into whale and orca energy and like the communication, right? Because whales have this like very strategic and advanced way of communicating. They often communicate almost like telepathically. So maybe you are telepathically communicating with some person that you're having a reunion with, and you know, maybe there's almost like this like longing or this anticipation of people that feel like home to you. Ooh, look at this. Rapture. Sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, pleasure. Yay, pile one. It sounds like you're really stepping into a beautiful time where you're allowing yourself to experience the joy and the pleasure of your human experience. And you know, maybe there's been some inner child healing that you've had to do in order for that to happen. Okay, so we have the Magician. I'm gonna pull a few more tarot for you. We have 5 of Pentacles. We have the 10 of Cups and 4 of Cups. So this is so interesting, the Fool at the bottom of the deck. So the Magician and the 5 of Pentacles are like, there's a part of you that's like trying to call in this new manifestation, but then maybe there's that part of you that has the childhood trauma that is maybe feeling lonely or unworthy or thinking about the times that it didn't work. And then there's this 10 of Cups with the 4 of Cups, where it's like you want this beautiful new beginning, this new chapter, creating a home, improving your home life, improving your relationships, calling in new partnership. The 10 of Cups is emotional fulfillment, but the 4 of Cups is saying like, I don't know if I want that emotional fulfillment. I don't know if I want the good passion and the good sensuality, because what if it just brings me to this place of feeling out in the cold again? So how do you overcome that? That's what we're asking as we close out your reading today. Forgiveness. Again, 2 decks, the same message, forgiveness. This is so important. The Mermaid Empowerment for Forgiveness is choosing forgiveness sets me free. And then we have Paradise. I create paradise with every thought that I think. And Strength. I'm stronger than all my fear thoughts. So it feels like in order to manifest this new beginning that you've been calling forth for probably quite some time, you've got to let go. You've got to forgive yourself, forgive others. And when you feel that fear or that doubt or that worry, you've got to go back to your thought work. I create paradise with every thought that I think, and I'm stronger than all my fear thoughts. So to me, pile one, it sounds like there's so much beauty that's coming in, and you're really stepping into a deeper sense of leadership and being seen and feeling more empowered. And now it's really about trusting, forgiving the past, forgiving yourself, focusing on your thoughts, only what you want to create, and recognizing that this moment is beautiful now. Like, that's a message that came through earlier for me, is this moment is just as beautiful as the next. So sometimes we're kind of fantasizing about this new beginning, thinking that then we'll be happy. But if we can become embodied in this moment and trust this moment is just as beautiful, then that's when we bring in the emotional fulfillment and have the strength to overcome those fears or those worries where we might actually be sabotaging ourselves or pushing something good away that we really want to manifest because we're afraid of being back in that same space of loneliness. So you've got this pile one. One more card to end with today is Awakening. Ancient knowledge, memories, connection. You've got to reconnect to divinity and reconnect to your powerful presence, and know that when you do that, everything else will fall into place. I love you so much, pile one. Thank you for being here. Okay, pile two. If you have chosen the Rose Oracle card and this gorgeous, beautiful, shiny white seashell, you're in the right place. Let's see what your powerful, magical mermaid message is today, pile two. So we have Lineage of the Rose. Look at that card. Moved by the goddess. Here for this. Soul call, gather. Rescue. Help others in need or ask for assistance when you need it. And I'm feeling called to bring one more in. Ambition. Set your sights beyond the horizon. We have Joyful from the Mermaid Empowerment Oracle deck. And the Mermaid Empowerment for Joyful is my joy heals the whole world. We have abundance. Look at all of this beauty coming up for you. Kick up your heels with this beautiful unicorn. We have a leg up. Some polar bears. We have adventure, innocence, play, discovery with this woman that's holding a key. We have the Knight of Swords. Portal, doors are opening, you decide, rewards, wild card. We have the Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Double mission came through in pile one as well. And then we also have nothing is absolute. Change is the only constant. The journey of Ilya. So let's see here. Lineage of the Rose. It feels like there's been something brewing in you, like in your ancestral line. Like maybe you've been carrying this divine feminine energy and you feel like you've been, I don't necessarily like that word chosen one because we're all chosen, but it sounds like you've really answered the call. If you chose pile two, there has been this like mission or this purpose or these gifts, these innate talents that you're really ready to release into the world. And maybe there's something about sisterhood or gathering with sisters. Maybe it's making connections with sisters or friends or connecting with a certain goddess. Maybe there's an ascended master or a goddess or even like a feminine angel energy that's like calling you and you sort of want to mentor with her and learn from her. Here for this soul call, gather. Yeah, it's just like you're hearing this call. And so we have rescue and ambition. So help others in need or ask for assistance when you need it. And ambition, set your sights beyond the horizon. So these are two very different energies. I'm not really getting a victim sense from this rescue card. What it feels like is that you feel like you want to help others. And you also really can ask for support. I feel like this rescue card is like calling on your divinity, calling on God, calling on the goddess energy, calling on the divine mother, whatever you want to call that energy. Like it's okay to ask for support and ask for support from your spirit team, ask for support from the people around you. In order to create this ambition that you have, it's like no man is an island, or no mermaid or no woman. Set your sights beyond the horizon. And it's also kind of like, once you have that ambition or that manifestation, it's like the universe is going to say, okay, if you want to create this thing, we're going to start putting you into these places where you can be of service. Like if you have an ambition to lead or to do readings or to heal people in some way or to hold space or to create, then maybe you're going to be given these opportunities to like serve or give those things freely or purely from your heart. And that's going to help to kind of create the momentum of getting into your purpose and like really feeling aligned in what you're doing. From the Mermaid Empowerment, we have joyful. I'm having trouble speaking today, so it sounds like maybe there's a little bit of not feeling sure of yourself or questioning yourself. Now, the Mermaid Empowerment for joyful is my joy heals the whole world. This is about connecting with your inner child. It's about finding the joy in the present moment. It's about recognizing that joy is your greatest gift. So what can you do to inspire joy, to feel good? There is another like kind of teacher, influencer, energy out there. Her name is Gala Darling, and she's known for tapping and having sort of like an eccentric personality. And her whole brand is all about how feeling good is your job. So like if you were a part of this lineage of sisters and goddess energies and divine feminine frequency where feeling good was your job, because that's pretty much what mermaids teach us, is embody joy, embody being sovereign in our sensuality, that's where the abundance is. So this thing about change, nothing is absolute, change is the only constant. I'm getting that like, it's interesting because you see there's a white horse on there and a unicorn on here, and it's the year of the horse. You're having to embrace uncertainty and change, pile two. And sometimes when you don't know what to do, your homework is just to figure out how you can be of service, what you need to do to feel joyful, and to maybe kick up your heels and have fun, and maybe have gratitude for the abundance that's already here, or figure out how you can get into the frequency of abundance through joy. With this leg up card along with rescue, it really feels like you have support. Like if you felt maybe isolated in some way, or maybe people didn't really get you, or, you know, maybe you feel like you've been far away from friends or family, or you've kind of been in this hermit stage. I feel like this is changing for you, pile two. Like this card, a leg up, is saying that you have support, but you have to ask for it and recognize that asking for support is actually a strength. Then we have adventure, innocence, play, discovery, and we have Knight of Swords. So she's like holding this key and she's stepping into this portal, and portal is also next to it. So there's all this energy of like adventure, going into the unknown. And of course, this journey is going to bring in abundance and joy, and it's all a part of your lineage. It's all a part of this ambition that you have to be seen in your gifts. But it requires change, and it requires letting go of clinging. So she's holding this key, but the Knight of Swords is always about kind of going into something, but maybe not having like the full plan. So I'm hearing like, let it unfold. Like right now you're sort of looking in, but you don't necessarily see the full picture. So it might be about stabilizing and resting, kicking up your heels, asking for that support, feeling good before you take that next leap of faith. And then the Pleiades card is saying double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So you've got this big mission. Maybe you're a spiritual teacher or mentor, or you feel like spirituality in some way is important to your mission, or maybe even like music. The Pleiadians are very connected to music, to sound. They are here to open the heart chakra and connect to the love frequency. If you connect with Pleiadian energy, it also means that you could be like a diplomat, like you have like a natural way to bring like justice and be a voice of truth. And, you know, maybe you have a way of networking or bringing people together. So let's pull from the tarot, and we have Temperance. So it sounds like you've really been in this place of trying to find balance. Maybe it's like this balance of wanting to serve humanity, but also doing your self-care. And Two of Wands. So it feels like, you know, you've kind of been in this like planning and prep stage of like looking out and thinking like, you know, in the future, maybe I'll have more abundance, or in the future, maybe I'll feel joyful, or in the future, maybe I can rest. And it's so interesting how in all these places, it's like she's looking out the window, she's looking into the portal, she's looking into this like stargate. It's all like this future oriented energy, but I feel like that's where the issue is. Like, you're misplacing your energy and your attention in this future possibility that like if something changes, you'll be able to have that. But it's actually about being present in what's here now. That's where the magic of the Temperance and calling in your dreams and visions will come through. We also have I wish you were here with me. So maybe you feel the distance between you and someone else, maybe a romantic partner, maybe family or friends that you're away from. And again, it's like feeling that distance, feeling like that like anticipation that you're calling in these beautiful things, but maybe your mission and being a part of this lineage has made it necessary for you to kind of be in more of an isolated space, at least in this chapter, where you kind of have to put some of those other things on hold. What's interesting, we're meant to be together. I will wait as long as it takes for a shot with you, and I should have fought for you. So it sounds like, you know, when you're thinking about your connection to other people, that maybe you're kind of nostalgizing the past in some way and, you know, seeing what could be in the future. Maybe there are some regrets of what happened in the past, wondering if like, you know, you should have fought harder for certain relationships or people in your life, or they should have fought harder for you. And so we have the Mermaid Empowerment Curiosity. And I think this is really important as we look at like, what are some of these deeper threads of thought going on? So the Mermaid Empowerment for Curiosity is I explore my world with curiosity. So I think it's really important to get clear about where, you know, you're looking into the future or looking at the past and blaming yourself or wishing it could have been different than what it is. And instead of seeing like the anxiety of your current situation, what if you just start looking at it with data and just get curious about like, wow, like, why is this coming up for me right now? Or why am I going through this situation? And then we have Perfect Trust. So the Mermaid Empowerment for Perfect Trust is I trust and know it's already done, or I trust and know the universe has got me. And so this is twofold. It's like taking this leap of faith into this adventure like we've been talking about, but it's also trusting that when you make the first move, when you take that leap of faith, you'll be supported, that you're not having to do it all on your own. You can call on your guides, your angels, you can call on God consciousness. We have the 10 of Wands. So maybe there's just been a lot of pressure on you lately. Like it feels like you're carrying this burden of this urgency of everything that you want to do. And maybe that's what's made it hard to kick up your heels. So we have Make Music from the Fairy deck. Follow your dreams and higher consciousness. Pay attention to your dreams, especially right now. Get curious about what's coming through in your dreams. There could be some really important messages that are coming through. So dream work, you can also ask for a dream when you go to bed at night. You can listen to like certain affirmations or subliminals to help with your dream work if that's something you want to explore. There's a process that you can do where when you go to sleep, you think about your whole day from the moment you went to bed all the way to when you woke up, and you kind of like play it back like a movie, and that starts to reset your mind. And then there have been different teachers that talk about a state called the state akin to sleep. And so that's like right before bed and right when you wake up is the prime moment for like you to receive messages from higher consciousness, to call in what you want. Music is also going to be really important to keep you regulated, to keep you grounded, maybe making music, because it feels like right now you're in this space of like struggle. Like this is a struggle, this is heavy. It just feels like it's all work and no play. And then we have celestial assistance, angelic messages, guidance and enlightenment, and third eye portal. Vision, clairvoyance, and clarity, confusion. So it sounds like there's going to be some sort of a breakthrough. Maybe something coming through from your dreams, some sort of epiphany, some sort of like angelic guidance where you're going to be able to see this situation differently rather than seeing your current situation as a burden or like putting off the play or the good things on hold because there's a seriousness about your mission. Instead, you'll be able to see things from a lighter space. And so your final message, pile 2, is reflect. Peer into the endless ocean and see what peers back. So it sounds like it's time to just sit with your emotions and your feelings and just reflect, especially in dream time. There's a message there. I love you so much, pile 2. Have a great day. Okay, if you have chosen pile 3 with the cute little ceramic heart that my daughter painted, this purple heart, and the fairy card, you are in the right place. So we are reading for pile 3. First card we have is body movement from the fairies. We have trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? We have, I'm scared you will reject me. We have loosen your grip. Coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. From the tarot, we have the Emperor. We have reflective truth, identity, self-love, acceptance. We have self-care. Drowning doesn't always require water. And one more, flow. Let your worries drift away. From the Mermaid Empowerment Oracle, we have open heart. I'm in harmony with my heart. From the angels, we have remain positive. From the fairies, we have self-reliance. Wisdom of the Oracle, we have flexible. And lastly, we have extreme times require deep reflection. Ooh, there's a lot going on, pile 3. There's a lot going on. The first word I'm getting for you is like you're feeling dysregulated. You are feeling dysregulated and you're trying to move forward from that space of dysregulation. And so it's creating anxiety. It's creating like these like coping mechanisms. It's bringing up like deep feelings. And it's also, it's just bringing a lot of heaviness. And so this card, open heart, is like right here in the middle. I'm in harmony with my heart. And it's right next to remain positive. So it feels like there's a lot of change happening and you have gotten away from your heart. You've gotten out of your heart and into your head, and it's created all sorts of nonsense. So let's walk through what's happening from this deep space of compassion, because oftentimes when we're about to go through a big breakthrough, all the stuff that needs to be unearthed and released comes right on in and is like, oh, hey, you're ready for an upgrade? Did you forget about me? So let's look at this first card. We have body movement. So this card, body movement, is really the magic key for getting those unproductive thoughts and fears and worries out of your body. Dancing is one of my favorite things to do, especially if I'm feeling very like out of balance, if I'm feeling angry, if I'm feeling restless, if I'm feeling tired, if I'm feeling not good enough, like unworthiness coming up. I dance. That's my medicine. Maybe for you it's running, maybe it's lifting weights, maybe it's going swimming, maybe it's yoga, maybe it's Pilates, maybe it's just going for a walk outside. Maybe it's getting up and like shaking out your body and moving your hands or doing some type of stretching. But body movement is really important because it feels like you've got some trapped emotions. And in order to kind of bring that out of your body, bring it through and move through those trapped emotions, you've got to move. Then this card, Trust Your Path, is really interesting. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So it sounds like you're moving through some fears and worries about lack consciousness or scarcity mindset. You know, so it might be about like this loosening your grip. Maybe you're holding on to a job or a project or something in your life, and you're holding on to it out of fear instead of excitement, and it's creating more struggle, right? And so think about it, like if you were living the life that is really your version of your fairy tale life, if you were in your ideal job situation or your ideal partnership or relationship, or, you know, really living out your mission and being successful in your career or your creative projects, like what would it look like? So if you let go of all the worry and the fear that it's not going to happen, and you just got into this idea that it already is happening and you're already living that life, like how would you go about your day? Like how would you spend your time? So it's kind of like a mindset shift. You got to move your body, and then once you move your body, it's going to bring through some clarity about how to shift the perspective of how you're showing up. And how you show up will then open up these new doors or these new pathways. I'm scared you will reject me. Yeah, that's super real. That's super human. We all have this fear of rejection. And, you know, maybe it's like you're looking at situations that didn't work out in the past, or maybe there's someone that's kind of like catching your eye in some way, but you're afraid of rejection. But it's like, are you going to let that fear of rejection keep you in these spaces where you're not being honored, or you're not like evolving or growing in some way? It's like you've got to see that rejection, but move through it, honor it, witness it, but don't let it be the final word. Loosen your grip. This is like the really important one. There's this deep thread of letting go, of having to just surrender, like just feel the emotion. I've heard before that people say that emotions are in your body for about 90 seconds. And there's even a somatic breathwork teacher that said recently, if we don't breathe through and honor those emotions, then like they get like stored and trapped in our body for like 7 years. So it sounds like, you know, there's some processing, but you could do it through dance. You could do it through movement, even just like intuitive movement, like putting on a song and like letting yourself just like move out whatever that fear of rejection is. Like if you danced out rejection, like what would that look like? And then thinking about the opposite of rejection is acceptance. So, you know, how can you be accepting and bring through the energy of acceptance first to yourself and then to others? And then these coping mechanisms, density, addiction, letting God in. Sometimes it's like we just get in this space of feeling super heavy, and like all we have to do is just say like, God, like I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know how I can stop feeling this way. I don't know what the next step is, but I just give it to you. I let go. I trust. And, you know, if you're in that addictive space, it's really important to honor like self-compassion in the same way. So maybe you are in a coping mechanism and you're eating a bag of chips. I did that last week. I went through like 3 days straight where like I ate a whole bag of chips. And like, I was just like, even though I can't stop eating these chips, I still love and accept myself unconditionally. You know, like sometimes you have to just let yourself witness the coping mechanism or the addiction and like just be like, oh my gosh, like my human is so dysregulated. She's feeling so much. Like she's going to this pattern that like she thinks might make her feel better for a moment, but like may also end up making her feel worse. And usually it does, because the next day you feel bloated, or you're like, why did I eat that bad? Or like, I really want to stay on my journey of feeling fit and whatever it is. So I'm just sharing that for you to recognize, like, we all have those patterns. We all have our coping mechanisms, but the Emperor card is saying that like, this is an opportunity to feel your emotions and to kind of start building structure into your life. What's interesting is that flexible is right next to the Emperor. And this is like an energy of getting your house in order, but also being flexible. Like, where do you need to be more rigid? Where do you need to create more structure? Where do you need to be more flexible? Where do you need to bend? Like, it's like, there's got to be this balance here. And you've been through it. Extreme times require deep reflection. So this is this Lumerian dreaming pool. It's like this woman's inside of a cave and she's looking into the water doing some sort of divination. She's got wolf here, which represents like power and, you know, magic with the raven. This cougar energy represents like independence. And you know, this is a time where you've really had to go within and build your strength and come to this place of self-reliance, which I'm sure hasn't been easy. I'm sure you've had to face a lot of like heartache and loneliness, and there have been times where it's hard to feel positive. But these two energies of self-care, drowning doesn't always require water, and flow, let your worries drift away. It feels like this is moving, like it's moving out of your body. And maybe this is just like old stuff that you're just like witnessing, where it's just like, oh, I'm moving out the rejection and the addictions. I'm creating the structure. I'm being flexible. I'm reflecting. I'm relying on myself. I'm letting go of the codependency, but I'm still positive. I'm still letting my heart lead. And then we have self-care and flow. So if it's not in flow, then let it go. That's one of these really powerful sayings the mermaids have shared with me, that if it's right, if it's in alignment, it will flow. If it's not, it doesn't mean that it will never be, but it just means right now that's not the priority. It's time to pivot. And so self-care is like, how can I take care of myself and my emotions and my feelings and figure out what's in my toolkit to work through this extreme time? And then reflective truth, identity, self-love, acceptance, everything is a mirror. And so it just feels like, especially with these butterflies, like you're going through this transformation. And, you know, maybe there are certain people in your life that have rejected you, or maybe you've rejected other people. And it's like you're seeing how things are being mirrored back to you, or all the stuff, all the processing, right? Let's pull from the rose deck. We have We Are Nature, becoming grounded embodiment, living in connection. So it sounds like you've got to move your body, you've got to touch the earth, you've got to get out into nature. There's some clearing that needs to happen. But we have Ace of Cups from the tarot. We have Knight of Pentacles. We have Knight of Wands, two knights. King of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the Wheel. So it sounds like pile 3, there's some really powerful new beginnings that are coming in with the Ace of Cups and the World. Or excuse me, not the World, the Wheel. The Wheel is like things are turning in your favor. Like you're processing the emotions, but you're going into a new chapter where you're coming out on top. You're learning how to balance the Emperor and the flexible energy. And the Knight of Pentacles and Knight of Wands is saying like, yes, you feel passionate, but also the Knight of Pentacles is saying it's like step by step and the structure needs to happen first. But this Hangman is saying, again, like it's very deeply connected to loosening your grip. Like, look it's like surrender, see things from a different perspective, loosen your grip. The Hangman is all about letting go. And the King of Swords is like, whatever this new beginning is, this fortune that's in your favor, it's because you've stayed in integrity. And maybe like you've been hurt by other people, but you didn't sink down to their level. Instead, like you've really been focusing on alchemizing things and focusing on your passion. It's the year of the horse. Look at all these horses that we have on here. Horse energy is about independence, about freedom. Financial flow from the fairy. So if there's been any fears or worries related to money, that's a clear indication that abundance is coming through. Parenting and children. So maybe you're healing something in your lineage. Maybe there's something going on with your child or your inner child, or maybe you're healing something with your parents. But there's this new beginning again, and maybe those old projections came from like that childhood wounding. And then we have raising your standards. So I feel like this is really important, that maybe this extreme time where you've had to like kind of focus on healing and processing has helped you to recognize your worth again. What's worthy of you, who's worthy of you, what you're willing to accept. Your last mermaid empowerment is gratitude. So I have an attitude of gratitude. As you raise your standards, and it's funny, there's like a baby and a child. There's a lot of inner child healing that's coming here. So it's like before you can get to that new beginning, it's like, how can you have gratitude for everything that you've survived, everything that you've gone through? Harmonic resolution, negativity, anger, transmutation. So with the mermaids and mermaid consciousness, we learn about the alchemy of art, like how to create beauty from the negativity and transmute all these feelings. So you can transmute it through your body, through creative expression, through painting, through any kind of artistic expression. We have I was selfish and stuck in my ego. So maybe you're moving away from mirroring relationships that feel egoic because you didn't necessarily believe that you were worthy of more or better. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're all healing. So your final message today is the return. A new story. You decide. Alignment. It's coming together. Your new beginning is coming. So trust it. Feel the feelings. Move your body. Transmute it. The best is yet to come. So if you would like a personal reading, you can find that link in my bio. And I love you so much. Have a wonderful day.